I have cat eyes. I don't have round eyes. Round eyes who? These are cat eyes, baby. Please. Hey guys, it's your girl Cassidy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a very much awaited snatchery. You know when you see girls on Instagram and they just obviously look like models, because what else is Instagram for? And like they have this look that just like it snatches them, right? So I was not given, by the grace of God, like cat eyes. My eyes are actually pretty round, but I really love the look of like those foxy like cat eyes. So what better way to achieve that than doing it with makeup and not having to get surgery to do it? So in today's video, I'm gonna be teaching you guys how to get these beautiful, foxy, sexy eyes. Don't forget to click the subscribe button right down below. And while you're at it, you might as well like this video already before we jump right into it. I know this is very strange for me because I have my face makeup done. And if you guys have been here for a while, you know that I do not do eyeshadow after my face makeup. I just can't do it. Like, I mean, I can do it, but I prefer doing my eyes first and getting that shape down and then having my face makeup done. But for the purpose of this video, I don't want the whole video to be like without my glam because I'm so like vain and superficial. No, but in all seriousness, if you guys want to learn how I get this my perfect base, one of these sides I'll have a card of how I get my flawless base routine, and you guys can follow along with that. So the very first thing that I do is I start out with an eyeshadow primer. I feel like lately I've been using just like my regular concealer for a primer, which is the Cover FX Power Play Concealer in G Light 2. But I realized that like concealers, the formula of concealers are meant to be a little bit more hydrating over time, and when I use it on my lids before eyeshadow, the eyeshadow shows up really well, but it's more prone to creasing like the longer I wear it. What you want to first do is use an actual formulated eyeshadow primer. This is going to keep your eyeshadow on all day. It's like not going to let it move, and you know, it's going to allow the shadows to show up fully pigmented. Okay, the very first thing that I do, guys, this palette is an oldie but a goodie. Like, it has never failed me. Basically, you're just going to want a palette that has a bunch of good variations of nude, beige, brown tones from light to dark. This palette is by Tarte, and it is the Tartelette in Bloom palette. I've had it for years and I've always been obsessed with this palette. It's so good. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you know I've used this a lot. The very first thing that I'm going to do is take my blending brush. Now this is a Real Techniques 203 brush. I love this. I pick up this shade called Smarty Pants. So it's a pretty light brown. This is just gonna set that foundation of the eyeshadow for me, and I put it in like a angled winged motion, but I'm not at the very bottom wing. I am like a little bit higher, and I'm just placing it right here. So just blending it there, slowly but surely bringing it into my crease, but also just making sure that I'm building up that shape of that like cat eye for myself. Now I take a little bit of a smaller brush. Now this isn't quite a pencil brush, but it's a pretty dense, just smaller blending brush than this one. So you can see this one is like more round, and this one is kind of shorter, more dense, but it still has a little bit of room for like blending and movement in it. And this brush is by BH Cosmetics. It's part of their new Weekend Vibes collection, and it is the number 10 brush. I take the shade Rebel. Now this is a lighter brown here, has a warm undertone, but it's gonna, again, I'm just working my way towards that dark brown color, just layering it. So I'm gonna go right underneath that brown and use that same kind of direction. So you guys can already see it's building up that shape, that cat eye shape, and working my way towards the deeper, darker colors. So I kind of just use a patting motion to make sure that the color really packs on there. And then I go in with the brush I was using before, and I just lightly blend out any like harsh sort of lines. I'm like barely touching the skin, keeping it everything blended in this motion. Now I work my way to an even smaller brush. I am taking the EcoTools Liner Smudge Brush. I love this for like a lot of precision. I'm picking up Leader and Activist. Leader is just a very, very warm brown, and Activist is also a warm brown but much darker. So I kind of like grab those two back and forth together, tap off the excess, and then for this part I only focus on the very bottom wing. So I am creating that shape right here, and just see how that created like a nice wing. I'm really keeping it super close to the lash line, working those colors very close in there, and then winging it out. And you can already see the difference. You can see that like darker line slowly blending into those lighter browns. That's why it's really important to layer your work, so that way you can start out with a light brown, work towards your medium brown, and then finally precisely place the dark brown. Because sometimes when I go in with like straight in with a darker brown, it's harder to blend out, and for me it doesn't look like as seamless. So I work in just like little moving motions here, and that's exactly how I want it to look like. Yes, yes, thank you. So now I just take a small, like little clean brush that I would use for under my eyes. This one is a controlled setting brush by EcoTools. As you can tell, I love EcoTools brushes. I think they're amazing and affordable. So I just kind of like swipe underneath just for a little cleanup, and just to make sure it's nice and sharp right there. Now I go ahead and I grab a very, very small angled brush. This is an easy look, but there are just small minor steps that make a really, really big difference. I pick up the darkest brown shade that I used on my eyes, and that's called Activist. And I go right into the corner and I just sort of stamp that right there, because that is gonna help my lashes blend into my eye really seamlessly, and it just creates a really like clean look. Now I know a lot of people like to extend this, and I do it in the slightest bit, but times that I've tried to do that, sometimes I don't know why it is, it's just my eye shape, or like this shape like right next to my nose doesn't have much space to extend it out, and it kind of just ends up looking messy for my eye shape. Okay, the eyeshadow's nice and laid down. I'm gonna go ahead and coat my lashes with some mascara, nothing too crazy because I am going in with false lashes. And the mascara that I'm using is the Falsies by Maybelline. I'm going in with my false lashes. These are the Kiss Lash Couture Naked Drama Collection. This is the style Lacy. Now, when you want this cat eye effect, you want something that's just gonna extend, obviously, longer on the outside. So these are not like my favorite lashes ever, but they definitely have like longer lashes on the edge. So it'll just help add to that like flared out, snatched look, if you know what I mean. Okay guys, so I've applied my lashes and I really like these. I do feel like they're a little bit thicker than I want. Like usually when I like the cat eye, I like them to be a little bit thinner and maybe not as long. Let's say you have a limited selection of eyelashes like I do right now, and you feel like the lashes covered up too much of the eyeshadow. What you can do is just take that very small brush, go back in with the dark colors, kind of push that lash down, and then just refill in like your shadows just according to what you feel like it's gonna show up, you know, behind the lashes. So I extended my wing a little bit just so, you know, it's visible behind the lash. I don't know if you can see the difference from this eye to this eye. And obviously, you know, you don't want to go overboard, but you still want it to show a little more, or at least that's what I want right now. So give yourself time to find like the right shape, but right now I'm really happy with how this looks. I just want to work a little bit on my lower lash line. When it comes to cat eyes, I honestly don't like to put too much on my lash line because then it kind of just turns into a really smoky eye. I take a little bit of this light brown, which is Rebel from the same palette, and I literally only put it on my outer corner, just a little bit for some definition. to like even out the top and the bottom. And then I go ahead and take the tiniest bit of mascara and just barely touch those lashes. I've been really liking a more subtle lower lash line, and I just feel like it adds that perfect detail. I'm gonna finish off my lips though. I am going to wear the NYX lip liner in the shade Ever. Then I am putting on the Huda Beauty matte liquid lipstick in the shade Sugar Mama, and this is a really, really pretty like mauve color, mauve nude. And that's that. I'm feeling this look. So as you guys can see, the look is completed. I love this. I feel like a literal like model when I wear this. I'm like, what? Don't talk to me. I have cat eyes. I don't have round eyes. Round eyes who? These are cat eyes, baby. Please. Alright guys, I really hope you enjoyed this look. If you end up recreating it, please tag me, post pictures on Instagram, and tag me on your stories or on the actual post. I love to repost when you guys recreate my looks. Literally nothing makes me happier than that. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Please don't forget to subscribe, join the Cassidy Secrets fam, because you know how much it means to me from the bottom of my heart. I love you guys so, so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!